My name is Sarah, and this is my YouTube channel to teach my children how to cook. So last Christmas, my daughter wanted me to write down the recipes of how I make everything, and I found that to be a very difficult task, mostly because I don't use any set measures to cook. I just follow, my whims and fancy, and I make things. I like cooking though. Cooking takes me back to my childhood and the smell and all of the things that I remember from my childhood is what I recreate every time I cook. But however, I found the task of writing down a recipe a little difficult, mostly because I don't follow any set measures. And how do I teach my children how to cook or give them a recipe? So I thought I'll record a short video of what are the ingredients that goes into the things that I made and how to make it. So I was born and brought up in Kottayam. I lived in Malaysia, in the UK, in Canada, and now I live in Australia. I don't live close to an Indian grocery store, and often I have to modify the recipes to suit what is available locally. So for the purist out there, none of these recipes are traditional. They are all modified, but this is what I fed my kids, and this is what I know to make. So the first thing in my list is how to make Kanji and Payaru. Kanji and Payaru is my comfort food. When I'm sad, I cook this. It takes me back to my childhood home in Kottayam. My grandmother would make this most of the time, and this was our dinner. It's cooked with so much love, and it is such an easy recipe. So Kanji means porridge, and it's cooked in the night and often served with Payaru Thoran. And again, it's a lentil that stores well, so it was always available in most of the Malayali homes. So the first thing you're going to learn is how to make Kanji. Very simple. You just boil rice in a lot of water, add salt, and it's done. So the proportion or the type of rice, traditionally, Kanji is made from broken red rice, kuteri. I don't have it, so I have often made it with Thai jasmine rice or even basmati. It's all I have and it works. So for two people, you want to cook half a cup of rice. So because you're going to boil porridge for a very long time, it's going to absorb water. So the quantity is going to be really a lot more than what you expect when you start. So just use half a cup of rice. You want to wash the rice at least in 4 changes of water till the water is clear. And then you add twice or even thrice the amount of water on medium heat. Cook it. Do not cover it because it's going to spill and you will end up cleaning it. So you don't want to do that. Boil. So once the rice is nicely mushy, you now add salt, boil it for another minute, turn off the heat. Your Kanji is ready. The next thing you're going to learn is how to make Payaru Thoran. Payaru is the green gram. It's available. It's available in all Indian groceries, or it's available even in Coles in Australia. So you want to buy the whole green gram. If you have time, you soak it first before you cook, so it'll cut down your, say, cooking time. I never do that because I don't ever get the time to do it. So you want to wash about 1 cup of payaru for 2 people. So I like leftovers because I do eat this often, so I cook 1 cup. And into the 1 cup, so you wash the lentils well. You put about half an inch of water above the surface of the payaru. So, and then you cook it on low heat. You can cover it, but only partially, because if you cover it completely, the water is going to boil over, and again, you end up cleaning it. So partially cover it, you boil. And once the green gram is a little mushy, it's ready, you want to add about 2 to 2.5 tablespoons of desiccated coconut onto the surface. You do not have to stir it yet. You just add it, sprinkle it on top of the lentil. Make sure the lentils has a little bit of water in it when you're doing it. The green gram I meant. So you add the desiccated coconut. On top of it, you add about 1/4 teaspoon of cumin powder, 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 2 or 3 sliced green chilies. Cover the lid and let the desiccated coconut steam. So traditionally, we use freshly grated coconut. I do not have access to it. There are no coconut trees anywhere where I live. So we're going to use desiccated coconut. I've used desiccated coconut for over 20 years. It does what it needs to do. So let it steam for about 6-7 minutes. Now you open the lid, you stir it. If the Payaru Thoran looks very dry, you can add a bit more water, heat it till it's all mixed. If it is too wet, open the lid, put it on medium flame, cook till the water drains. The last thing you want, oh, you have to add salt at the end. You never add salt at the beginning of cooking, mostly because chemical reactions, salt is hypertonic, so all of the water, instead of going into the lentils, stay outside the lentils. It takes a lot longer to cook. So lentils, anytime you cook, add the salt at the end. So the last bit is tempering. Now, I don't do this, mostly because I'm lazy. But traditionally, Thorans require you to temper it. It tastes infinitely better if you do the tempering. How to temper? So you take a small frying pan, add a bit of oil. How much oil? Maybe a tablespoon. Add a few mustard seeds. How much? Who cares? Add half a teaspoon. Who cares? Then you add dried red chilies. So you want to slice them into 2 or 3 pieces. Add them. Now, the last bit you need to add is onion. You want to use thinly sliced onion, about 1 teaspoon. Fry till the onion is slightly brown. The heat should be medium. If you make it too hot, the onion is going to burn and it tastes really bad. So you want it to be browning the onions on a low to medium heat. Once the onion is browned, add your curry leaves if you have it. Pour the whole thing into the lentils, mix, and you eat. So I explained about my grandmother. My grandmother was a Syrian Orthodox Christian woman. She wore the traditional chata and munda, and she probably played a big role in who I am as a cook, because she loved cooking. She showed someone how much she loved by cooking their favorite food. And every time I went there, she made this for me because she knew this was my favorite. So I hope it's yours too. Enjoy.